I'm Ryan Panagos here from Marvel.com. We're filming with Orson Scott Card today in town for New York Comic Con. Orson, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Excellent. Right now we're talking about Ender's Game, which, as you would know from all our New York Comic Con coverage, has been announced as an adaptation by Marvel Comics. You excited?
Oh, yeah, I'm thrilled because this is actually the first move of Ender's Game into a visual medium.
And this is the third adaptation of your work that we've done. We've also done Worms and Tales of Alvin Maker,
correct? That's right. Those were sort of the startup, the warm-up that started with the DeBell brothers, and then Marvel picked it up and brought it to a wider audience. I'm really proud of what they did. Those are also highly visual stories, but I'm thrilled to have Ender's Game finally hitting the small screen. That's what comics are, isn't it? The small screen, a whole bunch of little screens.
It's kind of like storyboarding almost,
yeah,
and then it'll help.
Well, see, that truly, movie executives don't know how to read scripts. I've never met one who did, and I'm hoping that Marvel will show them how it's done, because you guys know how to put the story down in a visual way so that it comes to life.
If you don't know, Ender's Game is the story of Ender Wiggin, who is a child and basically goes through a brutal training regime as they fight the...
Well, they're preparing to fight the Formics, the Hive Queens, who invaded Earth, blindly slaughtering any humans in their way, and they're coming back. And so they've got to train when they're still so young. These kids are learning how to command. They're learning how to compete. They're learning how to win. But it turns out that their training can be brutal, and the kids are dangerous to each other.
Now, we're doing Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow as well?
Yeah, Ender's Shadow was sort of an accidental book. I was just going to take a character called Bean, who's an important but not that huge character in Ender's Game, and I was going to have a few chapters showing his early life, his time in battle school, and then move right on to the rest of his story. But I fell in love with the stuff I was finding about his life before he gets to battle school. By the time he gets there, he's a really fascinating character to me, and really smart, and in a way giving Ender a run for his money as being the hero of the story, which inevitably happens. You fall in love with your characters. And so I ended up ending that first book at the same point where Ender's Game ends, at the end of the training. And they became completely parallel novels. They start separately and then they converge and end right there. So that was a surprise to me.
And I think it's really interesting that you kind of developed this second story and it just took on a life of its own.
When it's working, it does. I tell my writing students always that when you're telling a story, you've got the main character, you've got your main plot, but you've got to remember that all the other characters are the hero of their own story. You may not be telling that story right now, but they need to act like people who have agendas of their own, who have their own responses, their own reactions. They don't just do what you need them to do for the sake of the main plot. Well, now I'm, with Ender's Shadow, I had to actually prove that I meant that, because really, you can take any character and make him the hero of his own story. Everybody has a life.
You're working with Pasquale Ferry again on
Yes.
Ender's Game. How's the experience been so far with him?
Well, he was the first of the artists that I've worked with that I actually had any contact with Pasquale, because he has read my work, and we got into contact by email. We've conversed now and then. I still don't tell him anything to do. That's not my job. I don't think visually. So I'll come up with, I have a mental image, and I describe it so that it's clear what's happening and what needs to be communicated. And then he'll do a drawing, and I look at it and go, wow, I had no idea it would be this cool.
Thanks a lot, Orson. This has been fun. I'm Ryan Panagos from Marvel.com. Please check out all the news on Ender's Game right on Marvel.com.
And check the outtakes reel later.
It's going to be fun. Thanks a lot.
This is Orson Scott Card, and I'm here in Marvel, your universe. Thanks for letting me visit.
Marvel, your universe.